Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. We are here towards the end of January. SHOT Show's in full swing. Lots of new models being shown for the first time from a lot of production companies. But in this video, we're going to focus in on a newer model from Bladerunnner Systems. This is called the Apache model. And my experience with Bladerunnner Systems up to this point, I actually first ran into them in SHOT Show of 2018. I was walking by the booth, and honestly, it was one of these prototypes that kind of drew me into the booth. They had it on a large display kind of on the back wall of their booth, and I saw this dramatic turbine pivot here on this handle, and I just kind of gravitated right towards it. It's a very, as you can see, your eyes probably gravitating towards it right now, but it's a very kind of eye-catching design element to this knife. But from there, I got to chat with the guys at Bladerunnner. Really cool group of guys, very community focused, very kind of customer driven. They have a vision of what they want to do, and they're really working towards it as fast and hard as they can. This knife carries a lot of their kind of design DNA. And when I was at Blade Show, I did in fact pick up this bare bones trainer. It's been a long time since I had a quality, I won't call it a balisong because it's a trainer, but a quality trainer. We'll call it a trainer to kind of fidget with, and it's something that I've actually enjoyed quite a bit. So, and then I got to hang out with Lawrence of Bladerunnner Systems when he came out to Utah to film some content with Blade HQ. We hung out at Eldon Talley's house, who is a very well-known balisong maker. So we got to spend a lot of time together. I really like him. I like the company. I like the community. There's just a lot of good there as far as people go, and obviously that's important. So let's get into the specs. Carry case is cool. It's a nice touch. Now let's get into the specs here and kind of delve into this one as best we can. Hopefully I don't make this video too long, because I should have been in bed about 30 minutes ago, but c'est la vie. So blade length on this thing, 2.8 inches, handle length 4.25, overall 7 inches. It is done in S35VN, titanium handles. This one's been anodized green. They have a few different color variations, which you can check out on Blade HQ or other places, of course. But this one's a very cool, a little more muted color combination, but it beautiful combos all around. It does weigh in at 4.4 ounces, and I think total thickness of the handle was it coming in at just about half an inch thick, 0.5 inches. So blade stock is coming in at 0.13 inches. There it is next to the Paramilitary 2, and thickness behind the edge on a Paramilitary 2 is about, was it 0.025 inches? This one is about 0.03 inches, so not too far off. It's actually a better slicer than you would initially believe just looking at it from a picture. So performance has been pretty good. I have no complaints about it as far as my normal everyday carry tasks. So let's see here. The price coming in at $180. A little bit of value there. It's under the $200 mark for a really good steel for what is actually quite good fit and finish, and a good design, a very attractive design. It has a futuristic element to it with kind of a very pronounced belly, lots of nice machining throughout. One design that I like that it reminds me of, and again I'm not saying it copies, but it reminds me of, is the Guardian Tactical Konix. Again, both very futuristic, kind of eye-catching designs, to me at least. It may not be your cup of tea, and if not, cool. There's a lot of good knives out there from both of these companies. So, titanium pocket clip, stainless steel lock insert. All the hardware throughout is black, so you get a nice cohesive look. Pocket clip is reversible. Bearings, it's a flipper. So a lot of, kind of par for the course these days, but this one's well executed. So let's look at it in a little bit more detail. You have a stonewash blade here with a flat grind. Again, we talked about thickness behind the edge. An interesting I don't know if I want to call it a fuller, but kind of a milled groove in there that obviously ties the blade into the handle quite well. A nice visual appeal to it. Doesn't affect cutting that I saw. Your mileage may vary. Jimping is quite wide, quite aggressive. Does lock your thumb in pretty well. Again, extended use, that might be uncomfortable, but this is not a knife that you're going to be processing wood with, or at least hopefully not. If you do, record a video and you can share it with us all. Action's pretty good. I feel like there's more to give. I actually did attempt to disassemble this knife, but the pivot seems to be red Loctited, so I couldn't get it apart. As you can see, there's a little scuffing. I tried to get it apart, couldn't do it, and so instead of damaging the knife, I just called it good. Again, it was a disassembly for curiosity's sake, not for any functional purpose, so I left well enough alone on this knife. So anyways, one thing to consider if you are, I don't know, someone who has the need to disassemble, getting some gunk off there. This thing did see a fair bit of pocket carry, to be honest. So flipper tab kind of follows the frame here. No jimping on the flipper tab, but I haven't slipped. Well, I say that, right? But fairly, you know, it's got a lot of grab on it. It sits up fairly prominently, but it doesn't distract from the design, in my opinion. But certainly one of the eye-catching features is the accentuated turbine-style pivot. As you can see, it's an inlay, I presume, and as soon as you take out the pivot, that piece would likely come out as well. It's got some nice machining on there that matches the machining all over the handle. I think they described it as kind of a herringbone style machining. Looks nice. It's a nice visual element to break up what could be, you know, otherwise just standard, you know, milling that may not catch a lot of attention. So anyways, lockup is about 50%. I've spine whacked it a couple times. It's not going anywhere. They milled out here so you can disengage without any problem. Centering is perfect. And look at the gap on the pocket clip. Very, very well done. This will work in jeans quite well. So again, pocket clip is reversible. Ergonomically, I can get all 4 fingers on the knife comfortably, so it's just large enough that it works well for what I need. And the pivot is captured, very nicely captured. That is a tight fit, so well done. No hot spots. When the knife is closed, can't get anywhere near the tip, and the blade is not exposed on the back, not anywhere I can get my fingers. So kind of a basic standoff there. But yeah, it's a nice design. Again, design on this one, it kind of takes the cake while still being relatively useful, or quite useful as an everyday carry knife. So they did a lot of really good here. They've got some other cool designs in the pipeline as well, which I think is exciting. But for kind of an everyday carry knife that has, you know, what I would call, again, the Bladerunnner system's kind of DNA or design language, I think they did quite a good job with this one. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Nothing to complain about, other than potentially if you are someone who disassembles the knife, you may have trouble getting this one apart, assuming they all use red Loctite. If you're left-handed, this one could potentially work well for you because the pocket clip is reversible. And at $180, there's still a decent amount of value. You know, it's under the $200 mark, which for the most part, titanium frame lock flippers with S35 are about $200 and above. So it's a little bit under that mark at about $180 as of January 2019. So, you know, if you're watching this in the future, I don't know what prices are. I don't even know if they're still making it. So there is always that. But anyways, yeah, good job. I really like the guys at Bladerunnner. I hope they continue to do very, very well, you know, ballast songs or folders. They're good people to support. So comments or questions, let me know. Curious if some of you guys bought this knife, or if this is a knife that you would carry, or, you know, if you like or dislike the design. Again, it drew me into their booth at Blade Show with this design. So perhaps that's the same for some of you guys. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. More content to come, and I'll see you guys soon.